welcome back to another episode of the Let's Talk About It podcast. I'm your host, Ja Cromer. So today I'm actually talking about a few different topics. But y'all, I have officially dropped my podcast, and I am so excited and thankful for every viewer of my podcast. I appreciate y'all so much. So let's get into this episode. Lately, y'all, I have been rereading the Bible, and I'm currently in Exodus. And y'all, the Bible is so juicy. But the greatest thing I like about the Bible is that it checked me. It checked me. And I was reading the story of Sarah and Abraham before they was actually called Sarah and Abraham. They was called Sarah and Abram. And God had told Abram that he was going to end up having kids, and the kids was going to be unable to count the offsprings will be so numerous where it's like if you can count the stars of the sky, then you'll be able to count your offsprings, right? Cool. So as I'm reading it, Abram ended up telling Sarah what God had told him. So Sarah was like okay, I gotta what's the name of it? She was like that she have a slave girl that you can go and sleep with and have a baby by her, and that child will become our kid. But God did not ordain that. God did not tell Sarah or tell Abraham to tell Sarah that for Sarah to tell him. God did not ordain that. They end up doing it in their own will, out of God's control or whatever. So after the little boy got here, after Hagar had the little boy, Sarah disliked the baby. Sarah did not like the baby, so she started treating. Well, she didn't like Hagar. I wouldn't say she didn't like the baby. She didn't like Hagar, so she started treating Hagar wrong and stuff like that. And with her treating Hagar wrong, she ended up, causing Hagar to run away. So when she ended up running away, an angel ended up seeing her, and he was like, "Where are you going?" And the homegirl really was like, "Somewhere away from here." Cool. And the angel ended up telling her, like, go back to your host house, okay? Go back to Sarah's house and do what she say. And a little bit later, Sarah ended up having a baby because Abram was talking with somebody, and Sarah overheard the conversation with the guy telling Abram that, your wife but she would end up bearing kids in her old age. Right, and around this time next year she would have a baby. But Sarah was like, she started laughing. She didn't believe it. And I'm saying all that to say, God had to check me in a later season. Like it made me realize too, in like a former season of my life, I was acting like Sarah, where it's like I end up trying to take control of the things that I gave control to God. Like if I gave God this part of my life or this area, and I want God to control it, or if I want God to bless it, or if I want God to this and the third, then I get it to God, but yet I still want control. Yet I still want to be the one who makes sure the blessing come into play how it's supposed to come into play. And that's, I don't know. It's like, I don't think that's the right way to be. So for me with this story and how I perceived it, it's more so like, do not try to take control over things that you don't fully have control over. Where if Sarah would have gave God time, and a lot of times we just be wanting things like so quick, but it don't always work out like that. Like we got to lean not on our own understanding, but submit to God, and he will make our path straight. Sarah, had she just listened to God, God would have simply made that path straight for her. But no, she wanted to go all around the world, and it's like, girl, that was uncalled for. And a lot of times, like we in our life, we can be like Sarah, where we try to take control so much of things that are out of our control, not realizing that it's harming us, and it can also harm somebody else too. Where Hagar did not have to go through all that, but due to the fact Sarah offered Hagar, and she also, she offered Hagar, and Hagar ended up having a baby. So therefore, Sarah took control of the situation, not realizing that she did not have full control over the situation. But with the God that we serve, God is graceful. God give us grace. God give us grace. And if it wasn't for God's grace, she wouldn't have had another son. A lot of things start out in a way that we don't anticipate it starting. Right now, I have officially dropped my first episode of my podcast. It's what you're watching, because you're able to watch episode 3 right now. I've dropped my first one. I've dropped my second one. And it feels so amazing to to be able to be obedient to God's word. But I would not have been obedient to God's word if I did not utilize my isolation period. There was a moment in my life when I stepped away from everybody, when I cut everybody off, when I literally stopped picking up my phone, I stopped texting back, where it's just me and God. It's just me and God. Now, there was sometimes where it was people around me where we conversed every now and again, checking in and stuff like that, but I didn't get too close to them because I knew I was building something in my life. I knew that during that period of isolation, I could have stayed there and waddled in whatever emotions I was in, but I knew that I wanted to be better. I knew I wanted to be bigger. And a lot of times, I know for sure I'm not the only one that go through random moments and periods of isolation, but it's about what we do in those seasons. When you know that you want to be better and you want to create a better life, you got to start looking at everything. You got to start looking at yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and see what you like and what you don't like. And not only just look at yourself in the mirror on a physical level, but a figurative level as well. Look at yourself on a deeper level. What do you think about all the time? How do you move? What are your habits? What are your habits? How's your mindset? How do you keep your room? How do you look at yourself and reflect on every single thing? How your nervous system set up? Okay, look at every single thing about yourself. And the things that you like, keep. And the things that you don't like, throw it away and grab new habits, grab new ways of being, grab new, pull from something different. Create a new life for yourself. And that's what I decided to do a few years ago. I decided to create a new life for myself and a better life. But because I knew that, I remember in 2024, I was talking to God, and I was at work, and I was like, God, I know it get better than this. God, I know my life get better than this. I know this ain't all you got for me. I know this ain't all you got for me. Because if this is all you got for me, God, this ain't it. I just know it. And I'm like, God, I just start asking God for opportunity and exposure. That's it. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start with it. I just want opportunity and exposure. Then a little while later, I thought about it. I'm like, you know what, God? I'm kind of horrible at making my own decisions. Okay, I was 21. I think I was 21 at that time. Yeah, I was 21 at that time. And I'm like, God, I'm really kind of bad. No, I had just turned 22. And I'm like, God, I'm really bad at making my own decisions. And I was like, God, can you make decisions for me? and all it was like God making decisions for me. So when doors open, it's like, God, should I take that? Should I do that? And I did it because I got that okay from God. I got that confirmation from God. It was a guy that I ended up talking to, and he ended up telling me, because I ended up asking God, like, God, is it cool if I talk to him? And the guy that I ended up talking to, we talked for probably like two weeks. And he ended up telling me, he was like, Ja, life is not a race, it's a marathon. He said, you keep saying that you want to do this, that, and the third. And he was saying that you say you want to do this, that, and the third. And you can do everything that you put your mind to. Every single thing that you put your mind to, you can do it. You just got to start with one. He was like, you 22. He was like, take a typical 22-year-old that just went to college, graduated. Now they out searching for a job. You know, everybody know. He was like, everybody know that majority of college students that just graduated or college grads, as soon as they get out, they got a degree, but they don't really have money. They a student debt, you know. And he was saying that, like, take yourself as, he was like, I don't know your financial situation. And I'm telling y'all, I don't know y'all financial situation. I don't know what y'all got going on. But he was telling me that, like, yo, just take one thing and work on it. He was saying life has 3 essential parts. I can't recall how he worded that, but he was like, you got time, energy, and money. And he was like, you young, you got nothing but time and energy. Use that time and your energy to make money, and use your money to make more money. And I was like, okay. Now where I start? And I know there's a lot of people questions like where you start. A lot of times things start in the dark. A lot of times things start when you isolated. A lot of times things start when you stop distractions, when you stop the noise of every single thing, when you silence the noise of other people's opinions, other people's perspective of you, or what you think your life should look like. A lot of times that we can get so caught up and think about what we want to do for the next 50 years and retire in a certain thing, or if you're a creative person like me where you want to do 50 things, right? And you don't know which one you want to start with. Sometimes starting with one is way better than starting with none. And I know a lot of times we hear plant them all, plant all the seeds. It's cool to plant all the seeds, but when you are an extremely creative person and you have many interests and you don't know which one to start with, I can't say plant them all. Try to do hair, try to learn how to do nails, move to another state, learn how to pick up a trade or something like that. What I started with a decision. I started with a decision that I'm gonna do something that's gonna transform my life. I don't know what it was, and I ended up getting my CDL license. Did not expect that. I was at the right time. I was at the right place at the right time. God nudged my heart. I took the opportunity and did not know how expensive it was, but I took that approach. I took that route, and I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, I'm about to drive trucks, like whatever. I didn't think too much of it because I was never interested in driving trucks. That was totally not one of the things that was on my list. But I knew that I wanted to move to Florida. I knew that I wanted to create a business. I knew that I wanted something, right? Cool. So I got my CDL license and I ended up going over the road. I remember right before I ended up going to school to get for the trade. I remember I was talking to my brother and I was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to do this no more. He's like, yo, get that fear out your talk. He's like, get that fear out your mouth. He's like, yo, you ain't trying to hear that. You about to go. You about to go to school, bro. Like, God told you to do this. This is something that's actually good. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna actually go. And I went, I got my CDL license. I ended up going over the road with my mentor, like, I think a week later. Okay, I graduated from that school, or I got my certificate. Let's say that. I got my certificate from that school. A week later, I had an orientation. A week after that orientation, I started with my mentor and I went over the road. I stayed over the road for about 10 months, I want to say, until I ended up becoming a mentor. I became a mentor, and I was a mentor for about 3 months. Then I ended up leaving from off the road completely and moved to Florida. And when I moved to Florida, my life got so much better. And I moved to Florida this year in 2026, February of 2026. And I got my CDL license in October of 2024. But everything started with a decision. Everything started with that moment of being in that dark, being in silence with myself, and also being in the presence of the Lord. Just me, God, and my journal. That's it. Because I knew that my life got better. I didn't know how it was going to get better, but I knew it was going to get better. And God gave me people along the way. God gave me people that planted seeds inside of me, words of encouragement, knowing that, I can't even say knowing, but me not knowing that my life really was going to get bigger. And so much can happen in a year, 2 years, 3 years, however many years. A lot of things can happen within a span of a few months, because from May to October, when I was talking to God, I can't even say May because I think that was in June. From June to October, my life changed. I did not expect myself to go get my CDL license. I thought I was about to move to Florida in like a month or two, but God was like, wait, hold on. Nah, you ain't about to move yet. And I'm saying all that to say that in those seasons of isolation, of quietness, of all of that, like, yo, change your life. Change your life around. Get real specific about what you want. Even if you don't know what you want, because I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew I wanted God to direct me, because that confusion, I ain't got time for it, because that confusion ain't gonna do nothing but slow me down and delay me. And sometimes the things that we do not expect to happen will happen. Like, I did not expect to be a truck driver. I didn't even expect myself to talk about that, because that was the last thing I wanted to do, was like talk about my trucking journey on YouTube. Like, I didn't want to do that. I do it on TikTok. Well, I've done it on TikTok. do it a little bit on, I shared a little bit on Instagram, but I did not want to bring it over here. But hey, I'm talking about it. But and then another thing too, why in those quiet seasons, in those quiet isolated moments, because when I was in that truck over the road all those months by myself, I had nothing but time to think, practice, and pray. That's it. Like, I had so much time to just talk to God, and here I am starting my podcast. I remember when I was 18, was I 18? No, I was 20. My bad. I was 20, and God had told me, like, yo, I want you gotta have a podcast one day. When I was 18, God had told me, he was like, your voice, I'm gonna use your voice, and a lot of people gonna hear you. And I'm like, okay. I was excited about it, but I didn't think it was gonna be, I didn't think that at 18 God was going to speak about my voice. I didn't think at 20 God was going to tell me I was going to have a platform speaking. Do I feel qualified? Absolutely not. I don't. I 100% do not feel qualified. I don't feel ready. But I know that I'm prepared, because in those moments when I was by myself just talking to God and just talking to myself, practicing, acting like I'm speaking in front of a camera like I'm doing right now, I did not expect this to actually be my reality. I knew that it would probably happen one day, but in those moments that nobody see, the real us come out. That's who we really are when nobody's watching. And during those times when nobody's watching, I want y'all to continue to practice who you want to become. Practice that version of you that you want to see. If you want to be a person that's fashionable all the time, first off, imagine yourself wearing those clothes. Imagine how you look. Imagine how your confidence will be when you put that dress on, when you put those high heels on, when you do your makeup the right way. Go to different boutiques and stores. Go try on clothes and see how you feel. Put yourself in that. And also, like, know that, like, all right, bet if this dress costs this much, or if that costs that much, like, think about stuff like that. Put yourself in that mindset. Become who you want to become before you become who you want to become. And it all starts within the mind. Everything starts with the psyche. Everything starts psychologically. And it starts with believing it, even if you don't see it. Have faith in yourself. Have faith. I get it. Believe in yourself, but have faith in God. And know that you can change. So when it comes down to career or improving your life, adding more value to your life, imagine it. Imagine yourself with that career that you want. Imagine yourself, me right now. Like, imagine yourself, if you want to build a speaking career, imagine yourself speaking. Write it down. Okay? Write down the things that you want to talk about, what you would like to talk about. Write down your own life stories. Write down different topics, different things, and walk into it. Build that courage one day to pick up that camera and start, just record yourself talking and post, and then build that courage again to post yourself, and then keep doing it. Keep that cycle going. Keep going with it. Every single thing really takes believing yourself and action behind it. Faith without works is dead. We can faith and imagine it all day, but then we got to put that work behind it, because the work gonna work itself. The work gonna work itself. All you gotta do is do your part. All we have to do is do our part, and everything else will fall into place how it's supposed to fall into place. I don't think this thing called life it might be challenging, but it's not as hard as we make it harder. we make life harder because we want things to be perfect, especially us people in our 20s, early 20s, sometimes teenagers, where things aren't always as hard as it has to be, where it's like you may be confused. That don't mean you're gonna stay confused. Unless you decide, you gotta actually decide to make your life better and not make excuses about every single thing. You can't say that you want this but make 50 billion excuses about it. I hear so many people, like, when I moved to Florida, and I still be hearing it, when I moved to Florida, I would hear so many people like, oh my goodness, I always wanted to move to another state, but this, or I still want to move, but that. And it's like, if you want to do it, you have to have all your ducks in a row. Did I have a job fully lined up before I moved down here? No. Did I have a whole bunch of money saved up before I moved down here? No. Did I have whatever? Sometimes all you gotta do is just want it and go after it, and forget about the things. I can't say forget, but don't allow the things that are you. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna just say this because I was about to say don't worry about where you gonna stay at, what you gonna because I think you actually need to focus on, think about where you gonna live at. Okay, unless you go live in an Airbnb, a hotel, go live with family, go live with a friend, anything like that. But if you're gonna move to another state, don't get so tripped up and caught up on making new friends or new connections, new relationships. Don't get so caught up on that where you just feel as though like, dang, I don't want to do this, I don't know nobody down there. And it's like, get to know people. Get to know people in every single thing. Network, connect with people, introduce yourself, talk about what it is that you're aiming for. If you want to be a hostess and you want to learn how to host, or you want to be in environments where somebody contacts you and be a host, or contact you and you're a speaker at their event, let them know that that is something that you're working towards, or you're a host or anything like that. Connect, network, bring yourself out, brand yourself, find your brand, become a new version of yourself. When you got so many times in life, especially in your 20s, because I can't speak about 30s, 40s, 50s. I can speak about 20s because I'm in my 20s. But if you feel as though you need to start over in life, baby, start over. And you don't owe nobody an explanation of what you're doing, how you doing, why you doing what you're doing. You don't owe nobody that explanation. Only person that need to know why you're doing what you're doing is you. If you do not like who you have been, create a new version of you. Create new habits. Create a new lifestyle. Create newness for yourself. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because nothing happens if nothing happens. Nothing changes if nothing changes. You have to be willing to put in that work to change your life, to make a better life, to grow. Water your seed. Plant the seed and water it. But just know it's going to be moments where you want to go back. Don't go back. Don't go back to your old ways and old habits and things like that. You can think about it, you can want it, but don't go back. Don't go back. Don't go back. I even though I moved from Georgia to Florida, there'd be moments where I would go back to Georgia like every month, and then I realized, well, my therapist ended up asking me like, why you keep going back? Why you keep visiting? And it's like, why do I keep visiting? I'm about to stop visiting for a little while. And when I say go back, I really mean don't go back and stay. It's all right to reminisce. It's all right to reconnect sometime. It's all right to whatever, but don't get stuck in what's not for you. If you knew for sure you had to dig yourself out of a pit, don't go back to it. Please don't. If something freed you and you feel amazing about it, don't go back to it. If you know that for the past 6 months you've stopped eating processed sugar, and you notice how good you feel, you notice how your figure look amazing, you notice how your muscles are able to pop out, you notice how your skin look amazing. If you know that has changed and transformed your physical well-being in the past 6 months, don't go back to sugar. Don't go back to that processed sugar, because it's not gonna do anything but weigh you back down. That fat may come back, the muscles start leaving, your energy is sluggish and you sleepy all the time. Don't go back to things that's not for you. When you create a new life and you break that I forgot what it's called. It was just on my mind. But when you break that glass ceiling, don't go back down. What you going down for? What you going backwards for? Because when you continue to climb up that staircase of life and create a better life, you're going to create a life that you love living. A life that you admire. So don't get too caught up in your dreams and your wants and stuff like that. Start putting action behind it. Go put in some work behind that. If you want a new figure, if you want your body to look better, yo, get up, go to the gym. Go outside, go walk for a second. Even if you, hypothetically speaking, you want to become a person that walks daily. Hypothetically speaking, you decide, I'm going to walk 5 minutes every day. Now you're building that momentum of walking. Now you're building that appetite of walking because you love it so much. You only do it for 5 minutes every day. You don't even skip a day. I actually need to do that. That was a great explanation. I might start doing that though. But and after a while, you're able to walk that 5K race that you want to walk. Or let's say that is the goal, that you want to walk a 5K marathon. And you get up every day and walk 5 minutes outside. Now when that 5K marathon comes, now you're able to do it with ease because you spent the last 3 months walking for 5 minutes every day. Because it's going to eventually get to a point where you want to do more than 5 minutes. Or let's say you want to build your income. You want to build your saving account. Hypothetically speaking, you start with $20 every day. It's a scripture somewhere in the Bible. Don't quote me on it. But it says something about, I'm about to go look it up. Wait, actually. Dang, I turned my phone off. Okay, so I just find it. And it says in Proverbs 13, verse 11, dishonest money whittles away, but whoever gathers money little by little make it grow. So everything that we do, like, say for instance, like I was just saying, if you want to take money, for example, like save little by little and it will grow. Anything, micro, the little things. I was reading this book called Atomic Habit, and it was speaking about, and James Clear, he was speaking about how habits, it isn't a big miraculous thing, but it's something that happened in it's something that happened with micromanagement, with the smallest things possible. It was a story in there about these, I think it was British cyclists, but some cyclists from another country. And it was speaking about how, hold on. It was talking about cyclists from another part of the world. And how it was a new trainer that came in, and he ended up even dusting things off. He tested different fabrics to see which clothing are lighter for the cyclists. And even with the smallest things, with dusting his surface off and just keeping every single thing clean, that changed so much. Where sometimes things are in our environment too. Sometimes change needs to start with our environment as well. Or another piece to add on to change, let's say it like that, another piece to add on to change is to change our environment. Change it up a little bit. Tidy up your space, declutter some things, reorganize. Keep your space clean, because a cleaner space is the cleaner your physical space is, the cleaner your mental space is as well. And it can be the smallest things. But start with small micro things that build you. Like I was saying earlier about, or like I was saying not too long ago about walking 5 minutes every day to build that momentum and that strive of walking a 5K marathon. When you build that 5 minutes every day, it's building something in you. And it's not only on a physical level, but it's on a psychological level as well. And yeah, don't just get stuck in where you are and how you are and the people that want a better life. That better life is out there for you. That better life is waiting on you to take that action, to make that decision, to want it, to go after it, to chase. I won't even say chase it. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not one of those people that say, oh, chase your dreams. No, follow your dreams. Go. Slow steps are better than no steps. Stop walking on that treadmill. Stop walking on that treadmill, because sometimes walking on that treadmill, you just walking in a cycle. You just walking you taking the same steps. Go outside and walk. Go be bigger. What I mean by that? And when I say go outside and walk, I don't mean literally. But I mean, if you go outside and walk, you can walk from your starting point to 1,000 miles away just by walking. You can do the same thing on a treadmill. You can walk 1,000 miles, but when you look around, you're still in the same place. Don't be like that in your life. Don't just keep thinking that oh, because I'm doing this, that, and the third. I don't even know what this, that, and the third may be for you in your life. But just because you're, okay, I'm gonna say for me, just because I'm journaling every single day, okay, that would have been me just being on a treadmill. But instead of only journaling, I decided to put work behind what I wanted. Because even though, write the vision, make it clear so that he who reads it may run to it. Even though it may tarry, wait for it, for sure it will come at an appointed time. Yes, do that. And also, faith without works, we gotta put in that work. A farmer, I'm not the person that garden yet, but a farmer, he will plant his seed and he would water it. He had to put in that work to water it. And he also, when he see fruit, he got to put in that work to take off the fruit that has produced so that new fruit can continue to grow. So when you going through your season or your period of wanting whatever you want it and go after it. Write it down and have that faith and put that work behind it. And do not lean on your own understanding. In Proverbs 3:5-6, lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him and he will make your path straight. God will make your path straight. But you have to put in that work. You have to surrender your fears, your doubts, the judgment of other people, the perspective of other people. Do not care about other people's perspective. Don't care so much about other people's perspective, how they see you, what they think about you. Girl, bump them. Oh boy, bump them. Don't worry about other people's perspective of you. Like, no. They're not you, because at the end of the day, you're the one that gotta live with you for the rest of your life. They don't have to. They don't have to. You do. And we all have talents. And at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I know that I will have to answer to God. I know that if God say, what did you do with the talent I gave you? And hypothetically speaking, if I did not start my podcast, or if I did not start speaking on TikTok a little bit, if God asked me, why did you not do what I told you to do? Like, what if I just settled for trucking? What if I just settled for something that's tangible, something that's convenient, something that's predictable? I'm thankful I didn't settle for that. I'm thankful that I decided to choose a better life. I'm thankful that I decided to take the talent God gave me and work that talent. And I want y'all to do the same thing. I want whoever is on the other side of the screen to do the same thing. Take your talent. You may not know what your talent is. You may not know what your purpose is right now. But go to God and ask God. Go to God and ask God what it is. And sometimes sometimes it's not always something that we're gonna be profitable from immediately, because your talent make room for you. Now you make room for it in your life. I work 6 days a week, but yet I'm still up here making time to record a podcast episode. I work 6 days a week, but I try to make time to go to the gym. Make time to grow. Make time to be better. Make time to have healthier habits. To grow beyond your measures. Because you're not meant to be stuck. You're not a tree. You're not a tree. You do grow. And you grow. And I need you to grow as big as you possibly can. But you're not a tree and you're not stuck. So don't stay in one spot and don't keep walking on that treadmill. Write down the life that you want to create. Write down the life that you want to live. Write down the life that you want to live and go give it to God. Go deposit that to God and see what you get back. See what your investment is. See what your ROI is. I guarantee you it's something bigger than you can imagine. I guarantee you, all you got to do is just write it down. Tell God, like, hey, God, this is what I want. And can you make decisions? God, this is what I want. And can you help me on this journey? And I'm talking to the ones that believe in God. The ones that believe in Jesus, or whatever your God is. Or if you believe in yourself, or whatever. Believe in your higher self. Let me say that. Whatever it is, because I'm not knocking how anybody believe. And I won't ever just try to make nobody feel bad for believing what you believe or how you believe. Hey, it don't bother me. But what I am trying to say is that go to whoever your God is. I'm gonna go to Jesus then. God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. That's what I'm going to. But deposit that in. Tell God that, God, this is what I want. This is the life that I know. Ask God, what's the vision? Ask God, what's the vision? God, what's the vision that you have for my life? And write that down. Write whatever it is God give you. Write it down. And God, like, okay, God, you told me this, or you showed me this. I had this as a dream, or whatever the case may be, and I wrote it down. Now, God, what did I do? God, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? And go after it. I know I repeat myself when I talk sometimes. But go after it and see what God got for you. Fall in love with that journey, because even though the journey is hard, it's uncomfortable, it's gonna be moments and days where it's gonna be raining hard as heck and you want to give up. It's gonna be uncomfortable. You gonna be shy. You might be introverted one second and introverted another second, and it's like when you introverted, you don't want to show up, you don't want to do nothing. You was like, you know what? Especially if it's on a level where it's being seen. It be moments where it's like, God, I don't want to do this. I don't want to. And I just started. Okay? And it's don't get stuck in that. Don't allow the infant stage, don't allow that infant stage to keep you. Go beyond it. Go further. Live more. Laugh more. Enjoy your life. Create a better life. A life worth living. That you get to live. That you get to see and celebrate. So, until the next episode, thank y'all for hanging with me. Thank y'all for watching my video. I feel like this video is a lot different than the other 2 videos I posted, and I actually like this. Like, from even recording it, I love it. But I hope y'all have an amazing blessed day. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Subscribe. But now, until the next episode, y'all have a nice day. Y'all be blessed. Go enjoy yourselves and take care.